Hi guys, and welcome back to Nail on Sunday podcast with me, Chris, and my beautiful wife. Honey, your hair is shiny today, but in a good way, not greasy. Shiny. Welcome back to the show, guys. In this week's pod, we're going to be talking about part 2 of all things money.
We're going to get a little bit more into depth this week than we were last week. Last week was a bit more sort of skimming over things. This week is a bit more in depth.
In depth. And we are going to be inserting last month, because that's the way time travel works. Last month's winner of the £50 giveaway.
Amazing.
How do you do that, honey?
How do you be in with a chance of winning?
That's what I'm
So
asking.
what you need to do is you need to take a screenshot of you listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, pop it on your socials, on your Instagram, and tag Nail on Sunday Insta. Yeah, that's it. And every month we're going to give away a £50 voucher.
So, first of all, we're going to talk about something that's happening next week. Then later in the pod, we're going to be talking about something we're releasing.
So, very exciting. We are doing a crazy event next weekend. We've got something very exciting that we're launching. It's not a product, but it's what we're going to be talking about later on in the show. So stick around to hear about what it is. It's something we've been working on for a very, very long time.
9 months as a baby.
And we are doing an all-day TikTok live filled with games and giveaways all day next Sunday to celebrate our birthday.
Which is
Now,
a lie. I just want to say
it's not actually our birthday that day, but we can't really do it during the week because of upsetting the warehouse.
There's just other factors, staff holidays, etc. And realistically, we just think a Sunday is a good day for both you guys and for us.
Yeah, it's just very, very exciting. And it's just going to be an weekend full of fun.
So do we know the times we're going for? Are we going for 8 to 8 or 9 to 9?
I'm not sure. I think 10 hours is better than 12. I think 10 hours is going to work better for
So
us.
this all day thing is not all
I
day.
need to go and pick Laura up from the airport at 9:45 because she's now going away to the Black Sabbath concert the day before.
So basically, I'm just going to hold down the fort for the first couple of hours.
No, Sophia will be there as well. But yeah, maybe you too.
Okay.
So maybe, I'm not sure yet. We've not decided at this point in time, but by the time this goes out, we will have decided. So have a look on socials, see when it's happening. We're going to be doing games. We're going to be giving away stuff. We're going to do some probably crazy flash deals. And we're going to be talking about the amazing thing that we are launching that we'll be talking about later on.
And
in
it
this
gives you
episode.
guys the opportunity to ask tons of questions about said thing.
So please join us.
One thing I want to say is some dude in Nail Order come up with this thing called Winner Wednesday, and since then it's been really successful. I wonder who it was and who gets shunned out of it every single game.
Was it you that came up with it?
Yeah, honey.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you just said you wanted to do like a TikTok every week, I was like, let's just do it midweek, Winner Wednesday, give away a prize every week. And it was one prize, but you have taken over and just given away the whole entire stock. Anyway, because that is so successful, we think we should do just a pretty much all day TikTok. We just think it would be a bit of fun.
What
good
do you
for
think
us.
should be the biggest prize that we give away on the all day TikTok?
You know, it's going to be an absolute.
I don't think we can do that.
Last week's pod, we were discussing a high-level overview of starting up your business and the funding that goes into, etc. This week, we want to kind of niche down and go into more kind of in-depth things that a lot of people don't forget about.
Oh, do you know what? I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
She's moved on, guys. I'm sorry. She's talking about this TikTok thing. Go on.
Do you know what else I think we should do a couple of times during that live? Supermarket sweep during the live.
For someone?
Yes. Let's do it a couple of times. That'll be really fun. So, guys, you want to be watching this TikTok live. Like next Sunday, if you don't have a TikTok account, best be signing up because it's going to be fun.
Also, I think we should just give away the address, the very specific address of the warehouse.
So people can send us food?
Yes.
Yes, I totally agree.
Okay.
Excellent.
I really like Bud Light and IPAs. Just saying.
I really like donuts and cake.
If you want to order Rebecca her Starbucks, it is Venti Skinny sugar-free caramel cream frappuccino with two decaf shots, frap chips, and cream and drizzle.
That's exactly it, yes.
And if you just do it to the local Starbucks, they'll know. Just ask for Rebecca's drink. All right, so we're going to get into some more kind of budgeting things. Money is hard for anyone to talk about, but we think if we speak to you guys about money and budgeting and ways to increase the money that you have or save some money when it comes to your salary, because we've been around the block a few times. This guy doesn't like to spend money. This girl likes to spend money. So you can see the equilibrium here, you know? So one thing we've got down here is bank accounts. Now, bank accounts, for the most part, people don't really understand, like banks, credit cards, all that sort of stuff. We do have a bonus pod out. It's just 15 minutes long. We've not recorded it yet. We've not recorded it yet, so it could be 15 minutes long. All the credit cards. So if you do want to
let's
listen
talk
to that.
about accounts.
Bank accounts.
Yes, that could be just bank accounts or savings.
Both, because that's the same.
So last episode we touched on Monzo and Alika, just touched on them, but I think we'll go a bit more into depth because I think there are some excellent opportunities for you guys to be saving money and making money.
There will be links to everything we're talking about in the show notes. These could potentially be affiliate links. But again, we don't know these things. But moreover, it just means that you have a direct communication to go and either set up one of these accounts, or maybe you don't understand.
And if there is a referral code, we would very much appreciate if you can use it. If there is actually one, we don't know. Because it will help us out. We don't get paid for this, so get our rocks off some way. You know, an extra 0.5% on a savings account. Wow. So yes, we utilize Monzo for day-to-day. We have used several different business bank accounts from, oh my goodness,
Barclays, Lloyds, TSB, Tide more recently.
Yeah.
Tide is good, but they don't give you quite as much
Monzo
as the
is
Monzo.
better.
You can get a free version of Monzo. We have the pro version because we have multiple users.
Yeah.
Why do we have multiple users?
Accountants,
stuff like that.
So yes, Monzo I would highly recommend. I like it for its ease, but I love it for the pots, the tax pots. The only problem is with like Monzo, in terms of like savings accounts and stuff like that, we're going to come on to how you can maximize that. It's not really going to benefit you. But the fact that it can take that money aside automatically, we do it, and just put it out the way so it's out of your mind. You know it's not your money. It's gone.
So imagine you've got money coming in from either cash, if you go to, say, for instance, a post office, and you can pay into the post office for Monzo, that's right?
Yeah, don't do it because they're going to charge you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you do it for free?
I don't think you can put money in for free these days.
We'll look into that and come up with something. But mostly it's going to be from your credit card machine, or if customers are transferring bank transfers, just do it straight to your Monzo. So you're going to have money coming into that. You can then nominate like what we call a tax pot or a savings pot as such, where that could be set to different percentage denominations. It could be 5%, it could be 10%. So for instance, if you are wanting to put away for an emergency fund, you might put 2%. If you're saving for your tax, you might put 10%. If you are saving for a holiday fund to compensate for when you go on holiday, when you go on vacation and you're not working, you might want to put 3%. Have all these little things. So if £100 comes in, it gets distributed to these little pots and you don't need to think about it. It's hands off. When it comes to money, if you can be as hands off as possible, that's probably the easiest, right?
Yes.
What do we use the tax pot for? Well, we use it for tax.
Yes.
We call it a tax pot and we use it for tax.
We use it for tax.
So we use that to pay the company.
So that was for corporation tax. And then we essentially use PayPal as a tax pot for VAT. Very depressing.
Recently, we found a new bank company called Allica, Allica. They're based in the UK. They are regulated, so your money's safe up to 85,000.
That's also something else to point out. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until quite recently, that your money is only insured up to £85,000
in the UK.
Not that most people have that in their account, but you never know with businesses. So just something to point out.
Yeah. So if you've got 100 grand and the bank goes bust, you're guaranteed 85 grand back, but you're going to be missing a big chunk, 15k. At that point in time, you might want to think about distributing your money into things like savings accounts, which we'll come on to in a second. So Allica Bank, I think, are relatively new. It says it's been going since, I think it was, 2017 or something, but I've only found out about them recently. They have a debit card that gives you cash back, which is unusual, full stop, in the UK, to get debit cards that have cash back, especially business ones.
Business ones, yeah.
And this can give you, for the most part, 1%, but it can give you up to 1.5% if you meet certain spending criteria. You're never going to do that because you're always going to spend money on credit cards versus a debit card. But if you can't get a credit card, this is a great bank account, because if you can get 1% back on your business spend, think about it. Well done, you spend £1,000 over the space of the year, you're going to get a tenner back. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, it's only a tenner back. But think about how many times you're going to do that with different companies over the space of the year.
But again, like we've discussed, there are probably better options in terms of credit cards. Again, refer to that podcast. But moreover...
So one thing I love about Allica is they have a savings account, and it's a relatively high interest rate savings account. Right now, it's 3.75%. Again, things will change as we are talking about these things.
If you hit certain criteria.
If you hit certain criteria, as in if you have, I think it's £40,000 or more in that savings account, you get a 0.5% bump up. If you switch over from a different account to them, you get another 0.5% bump up. So that could be, right now, I think it is 4.33 is the maximum you can get in that savings account. So one thing Rebecca and I were talking about in the car on the way in here, it's Pride of the Fleet, is how can you maximize that savings pot? And we were discussing certain things that you would probably want to save for over the space of the year. regardless if you're a nail tech or just somebody listening to this pod, you probably go on holiday, vacation once a year. That's going to be a couple of grand for your holiday. You're going to have to pay your taxes at some point, especially if you're self-employed. Again, that can be anything. We worked it out roughly about £5,000.
£5,000, yeah. If you're a nail tech wanting to turn over, say, 30 grand, you're going to be £5,000 in taxes.
Yeah. And you don't have to pay your taxes for like a 9-month period from when the period ends to it. So over that space of the year, you're going to collate all of those taxes if you're smart and put them into your savings account. So we're going to just say you're going to have £5,000 in a savings account. You're probably going to have, say, £3,000 for your holiday. And then probably the next biggest expense for most people, which I think is bonkers, but such as life, is Christmas. People spend loads at Christmas. So say, for instance, you are one of those people that spend a lot of money and you've saved up £2,000 and that's what you're going to spend at Christmas. What you've got there is £10,000 in that account. And if that account is earning you, let's go for the lower rate.
Let's just say 4%.
Okay, oh, for easy math, that's a good one. Let's go for 4%. That's going to earn you £400. That's amazing.
It's excellent.
Now, that £400, you could potentially use that for a couple of days out when you go on holiday.
Could be a Christmas night out.
Could be a Christmas night
for
out.
2 people.
Yeah, or it could be that extra something for that special someone at Christmas time or Valentine's Day. You know, something like that.
Could be a weekend away, £400, to be
Or
honest.
if you're really smart, what you'll do is you'll spend that £400 on Black Friday weekend when you're saving 20% already.
100%,
and then,
you'll reinvest it.
And you're going to do that in retail, which we'll come to in a second. And you've invested it back into your money and that's going to grow exponentially.
Yeah.
Which is, personally, that's what I would do. I personally wouldn't spend it at Christmas time.
So all that money that you have to save.
Have to.
Because you have to pay it out.
You have to pay a tax.
Make it work for you.
That's something that we didn't do in business to begin with.
No.
We have really got savvy to that just now.
Very recently.
Yeah.
We were like, hang on, we've got all that money sitting there for the tax pot, which, you know, for a business like Nail Order is a relatively substantial amount of money. It's not our money. It's not the business's money. Sitting there doing nothing, but we can make it work for us.
It's sitting there. It's doing nothing. Why not put it into that savings account that earns the company money back? That couple of grand we can put towards products. Those products will make us more money back overall, which we can then reinvest back into the company. It makes complete sense.
It does, absolutely.
One thing I just want to talk about with Alika Bank, it gives you that 1% debit card transaction back that I was talking about. Now, if you're really smart and you have credit cards, like Capital on Tap, like potentially American Express, which I'm trying to work out just now.
I'm just going to say, right, guys, if you have a limited company, I want you to stop right now, whatever you're doing, and go and apply for a Capital on Tap card.
Yeah.
It is the smartest move that you can make. Again, go and refer to the credit card podcast that will be up. We will talk about everything that it can offer you as much as we can. But it is such a smart move. You can literally use it to pay your taxes, get points back in that. You can have points as cash back, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Go and do it right now.
You can be as high level as you want with that card because if it's going to give you cash back, you just get your 1% or 1.5% cash back on it.
The other thing with Capital on Tap is you can preload it as well. So if you're a bit scared of credit cards, preload it. Again, we'll go more into depth in this, but anyway.
Yeah. With Alika debit card, you can pay your Capital One card because Capital on Tap card off a debit card, which they let you do, which is weird. Not a lot of
all credit cards let you do it.
I don't think so.
I think so, yeah. I pay my Amex with a debit card.
Now, I get it. Some of you guys don't want a credit card. I totally understand that. Okay, personally, I don't, but some people are scared of them. But they'll happily use Klarna or ClearPay. It's the exact same thing.
But Klarna or ClearPay are not serving you in any way.
And if you have a credit card and the opportunity arises, so for instance, when it comes to Black Friday, you can buy all of your stock on that credit card and get your cash back on it. Take advantage of a 20% off. And if you pay it within, the recommended statement balance amount, you're not going to pay interest.
If you think about it as well, with Capital on Tap, you're getting 1% cash back on the Capital on Tap purchases and then 1% back for paying it off. That's 2%.
Yeah, it is, which is unreal.
It's fantastic.
And if you are listening in America just now, which I know quite a lot of you are, you're probably thinking the Citi Double Cash does the exact same thing. And you're right. If you're in America just now, I would recommend Chase, personally, as
excellent
banking. Yeah. Most
There's
of you
zero
guys,
American listeners listening. You've got your information.
There you go. Another account I want to talk about, which is actually like a broker, is a company called Raisin UK. Raisin UK. They have tons of savings accounts. It can be instant access savings account, where if you put it in, you can take it out immediately. They have other notice accounts, which are like 30-day accounts, or you have fixed term accounts, which are like year-long accounts. realistically, the long term ones have usually higher percentage rates, but Rebecca and I feel a bit safer for the company to invest that money into the instant access ones.
90-day max. I think you've done.
I've done a 90-day one. And realistically, I would do it with tax money, knowing that I can withdraw that in 90 days' time. So we would take that out. Our tax year runs from January through December. So we have to pay our taxes in September. So if I give notice at the start of May, June, July, August, I can't count, that's too many months. But if I was to give notice then it matures and it comes out. And those savings rates are all over 4%, which is rock star in my opinion.
It really is.
Yeah. So that's another way. If you've got money sitting there that's to go out to tax and everything else, use it for that. However, there's slightly better ways that you can use that money if you've got it just sitting in your account. And that's to invest in yourself and your business. One thing that Rebecca and I champion and pioneer is retail. Retail all year is excellent. It's almost like a side hustle.
If you are a nail technician, a beauty therapist, whatever, and you are not retailing, you are not doing your business justice, and you are not doing everything that you can to make your business successful. Categorically, you have a free shop window.
And how many people, I'm just thinking, like, see these people that used to go around with Avon, slinging these catalogs door to door. See if you said to them, you can have like a shop window and display all your goods.
Oh my God, they would love that.
They would love that because people could come in and try the things and they'd be able to sell all this
You
sort of
have
stuff.
it. You have it already for free. It's sat there. I'm saying for free because you're already using the space.
Yeah, use it sensibly. I mean, if you look at me on the video right now, what you could have behind you is just like some shelves and put cuticle oils up there. Some
anything.
Anything.
Sanitizers, creams,
anything that you use during the treatment. And there is a retail version. Get up on a shelf.
100%. What are you doing? Why are you not doing that? It's speculate to accumulate. If you want your business to be properly successful, having the add-on of retail is absolutely necessary. If you think you could sell a cuticle oil to every client that walks through your door, okay, let's not even say that. Let's say half of the clients. Say you're a nail tech that does, say you do 30 clients a week. It's quite a lot, but let's just say 30 clients a week. You take 4 weeks holiday a year. Let's say you're doing so what's 48 times 30? 48 times 30 is 1,200 and then 8.
One eternity later.
It's
Around 1,600.
Yeah.
It's around 600, right? Let's say you're doing 1,600 clients a year. Now let's say right in half, 800 of them buy because they're not all new clients, they're not all first time buyers, but some of them are going to replenish them. So let's say you sell to half of them. So that's 800 people a year. Let's say you're buying nail order cuticles and your profit is £4 a pen.
Oh, holy smokes.
That is
£3,200.
£3,200.
3,200. Do you remember I said the holiday was going to cost you £3,000?
Yeah. So if you're not retailing, you are missing out on that. Like, why are you not retailing?
I'm scared. I'm scared of
what?
Scared of the sales pitch.
There's no sales pitch. You're using the product. Your client's going, oh my God, that smells amazing. And you can go, yeah, I actually have them to sell if you are interested.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be hardcore. Have it in front of the client so they can see it's for sale. You don't even need to mention it.
So you use the dropper bottle at the end of the treatment. They love the smell of it because, let's be honest, nail order scents are unreal. But not only that, if you turn around and say to them, oh, you should really pick one of them up. They'll be great for your manicure. They'll make everything last a little bit longer.
Also, people love to buy them for gifts as well.
Yes. Also, when customers come in to get their nails done, it's a treat yourself moment.
Yeah.
They will treat yourself to something else.
If you go to a hair salon, if you go to a pretty decent hair salon these days, they will try and upsell you a treatment. They will upsell you a treatment and they will upsell you aftercare products as well. If you go to a spa, they will upsell you the products that they're using. If you go to any spa or any hair salon, you will see products
Everywhere.
for sale.
If you go into a makeup counter, if you go into a department store, these people are trying to sell you something.
They are. So why are you not doing it? Please do it. Start small. Start with a little 15-hole stand of cuticle oils. Fill it up. Make sure you've got matching dropper bottles or mini dropper bottles, or you've bought an extra one of each pen so that the clients can try them. And the outlay on that is absolutely teeny. What is the outlay on that for us?
It's about £50.
Is it?
Yeah.
So why are we not doing it? Wait,
but with that...
15 pens, no, 15, if you buy 15 pens, it depends if you buy them in a bundle or not, but 15 times 60. Okay, no, it's going to cost you probably around £80.
Including that.
Look at the maths, just whatever. It's just somewhere around £80, okay? And that's going to start you off. You've got your stand now. You don't need to buy that again. You've got your tester pens. You don't need to buy them again. All your dropper bottles, which are going to last you forever. And then you're just going to replenish the pens as you go.
Because Rebecca and I are really passionate about retail, one of the things we try and do is keep our prices very low. And we try and work it out so that we'll take a hit so that you guys can earn double.
We try and make sure that the margin, you will double your money because that's what we would expect retailing items.
Yes, for sure.
We try our very best to do that.
And one thing we get burned on was companies not allowing us to do that, not doubling our money.
And that's the thing. We empower you to sell out however you want. If you set up an Etsy store, maybe you're doing press on nails, sell them like that. If you have a website, sell them like that. Put them on your social medias. Sell them however you want to sell them. But just sell something.
Think about this for 1 second. Imagine you've got a part-time job or a full-time job and nails are your side hustle. This is a side hustle to your side hustle. Imagine you make, I don't know, you go into some sort of budgeting calculator and you work out you're making about £8 per treatment. But then you make £4 extra by selling the cuticle oil. What you've just done there is you've added 50% of that profit.
Even if you only sell 200 cuticle oils a year, which is four cuticle oils a week, taking into consideration some holiday. 4 cuticle oils a week. You're making £800.
That's outstanding.
Extra profit, not turnover, profit. £800.
That's unreal.
But
that's if you buy it in regular times. If you buy all of your cuticle oils and all your retail stuff, Black Friday and the Easter sale, you get 20% off them. So you're making £4, but you realistically are making an additional 20% because you've saved 20%.
Also, if you don't buy them pick and mix and you buy them in 6-packs, your clients have got their favourite scents. Maybe it's like Sugar Fairy, Candy Hearts, whatever. Buy them in 6-packs, you're saving an extra 50p. Be smart.
Be smart. We try to give you everything to be smart and make the money. Use the credit card.
But please, if you are not retailing, why? Ask yourself why. Do you have spare 80 quid that you could spend to start your retail journey, to double your money, to earn extra buckaroos?
For sure. I think that's one of the hardest things, just to be able to work out where the money is coming from. Now, one thing I want to touch on is accounts and stuff like that, because I think it is imperative to track your spending and your income from your business. I am terrible at doing it. Terrible.
So bad.
So bad. I never keep receipts.
So bad.
We use
You bought stuff this morning, Mackie Pack. Did you upload the receipt?
No, honey.
What card did you use?
I Capital on Tap.
Wow. Step 1 done.
And I was going to preload it and I forgot. QuickBooks is great. Xero is great. And Notion.
Never heard of it.
It's on my notes here because the accountants we were doing yesterday, they kept mentioning Notion.
Never heard one person mention Notion. I think you're making it up.
Anyway, you can get free versions of these. I think they're relatively inexpensive. But for instance, if you are a solopreneur and you want to be able to track your income, as in to work out how much things are costing you and how much you're making, one thing I would say is get a budget calculator like QuickBooks, which basically does your accounts by the end of the tax year. Do you think that's the best one to use?
Yeah, probably. QuickBooks is Xero.
Yeah.
They integrate to a lot of things as well, which is really, really going to help you out.
It is. Do you think there's a place to set realistic budgets per month as a business owner, or do you think that you should ebb and flow with the tide?
I personally don't like budgets. They don't allow you to ebb and flow and react to certain circumstances. So yeah.
My only qualm with that is I know that we have some customers that nail order that order every single week.
Yeah.
And that's not good for your budget.
Okay, see, budgeting. Well, I think you should budget your stock. Does that make sense? Not your money. Don't set yourself like money budgets or goals restrictions, but stock. Make sure that you are stocked up. Like, as much as I love seeing their names come through every week, I also am like, why are you paying for delivery again? It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
So it's more just be sensible with your money and get free delivery. We've talked about this a million times.
Also be sensible where you get things. So for instance, at nail order, I know we're not supposed to be hamming nail order here, but if you use gloves and you get them from Amazon,
oh man,
they're probably more expensive than if you get them from nail order.
Disposables, you need to find the cheapest ones. Things that don't really matter. Find the cheapest things.
And if you can, add them into an order that you're already getting. If you come to an nail order for your builder gels, your center gel, your top coats, grab gloves when you're here.
So cheap. If you buy a case of gloves, £32, it's £3.20 a box of gloves.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you out there are buying them on Amazon for like £7 a box. Come on, guys.
Exactly. And again, that's investing in your business. That one box might last you 3 months, just for talking's sake, but you've saved a lot of money on it, you know? And again, if you get it in Easter sale on Black Friday, that's the way to do it. Other things, acetone. Nobody likes to buy acetone. I was in Salon Services yesterday. Do you know how much one of those little acetones are?
Like a litre or 500 mils?
500 mils.
Go.
The same price as it is for us for a litre.
No way.
And
so they're double the price?
Yeah, double the price. And they don't do the big 5 gallons, I don't think, anymore. They used to, but they don't do them
And
anymore.
people will go in and pick them up all day.
Yeah, the small ones all day. Do you know how much a cucumber pen was?
How much?
£6.
What type of cuticle? Was it just an individual?
Individual, I couldn't recommend. I couldn't recognise the brand.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything else you think we should go on to in terms of budgeting tips?
Making sure you're saving for when you are off.
Oh, good one. Now,
Not
we've said
necessarily
tax.
well, yes, it is saving. It's a twofold thing. It's number one, it's costing it into your prices. Making sure when you're working out your prices, you're accounting for the fact that you aren't working 52 weeks a year. And secondly, it's putting some of that money aside. So if I had a Monzo account, I would probably have a time off
tax pot.
A time off pot as well. Where you put in, say you're taking 4 weeks off a year, there's 52 weeks, so it's not quite, do you know what, round it up, 10%, because you're going to be off 10% of the time.
Yeah.
So I would say that goes in there, then when you're off, that's the money that you can use.
We discussed on the last pod like an emergency fund. I think as much as you're doing a holiday fund, I think having an emergency fund is good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it gets to the end of the year and you've not touched that emergency fund, you could use that to replenish
maybe
stock
a piece
or
of
something.
equipment's broken, your lamp's broken or whatever it is, or you want to do some upgrades.
Big thing we call it is CapEx, capital expenditure, and that's the big high ticket items. So for instance, if you have a gel lamp, a big overhead light or something like that you've had for 2 years, that no longer stays on all the time and flickers a little bit. If you've got the emergency fund and you've not used it all year, use that for your CapEx.
Yes.
Lastly, a really boring one. We keep talking about tax funds. Another tax fund is VAT.
Yes.
This is a hard one because for the most part, I do believe that if you're a solopreneur, single nail tech,
if you're turning over 85 grand as an independent nail tech, well done, very good.
Yeah, first of all, if you get to that 85 grand threshold, this is what it is in the UK before you have to pay that additional value added tax. I don't believe that you are, but we want to talk about VAT just and touch on it.
If you are a salon owner, you are probably quite likely to be having to pay VAT. So as I said, their turnover of 80, I think it's still 85 grand, or more, will mean that you have to register for VAT. Now, this is something we talked about briefly on another episode. It's really important, especially for beauty industry service providers, to know that there is 2 options that you have when it comes to registering for VAT. So the first one is standard VAT, 20%.
So basically what that means is when you register for VAT, if you hit a target threshold of £85,000 per year, whether that be in a full tax year or that's projected, don't do it if it's projected, only do it once you've clicked over that, then technically you should be adding an additional 20% to your service fees.
Again, just to add, Chris and I are not financial advisors or accountants. This is just from our personal experience.
And with that, what that means is you charge your customer that 20% VAT, value added tax. It's added, it's bundled into the price. You shouldn't be showing the customers it. But it does give you the ability to claim that back for all the purchases that you've made over the space of the year that has the VAT included.
Once you have turned over, you don't get 85 grand every single year allowance, which would government, if anyone in the government is listening, if you want to inspire more honesty in traders that are circling around that 85 grand mark, allow every business the 85 grand allowance every single year.
Also, I promise it will work out better because they'll target themselves to do 100 grand.
1,000,000% it will work out better. Right now, having it as a one-off 85 grand doesn't make any sense because anyone circling around that number is just not going to be honest because they're not going to. Who is going to turn over £90,000, go, right, that's me VAT registering, I now need to pay 20% VAT or charge my customers extra. Anyway, so it's just something to think about. The other thing to think about is that you will have to either increase your prices by 20%. Well, no, you will have to increase your prices by 20%. Otherwise, you're losing 20% of your money. Yeah. So that's a big increase. And the final thing to take into consideration is that as a salon owner, from personal experience, I can say this, the majority of your costs is your staff costs and your rent. Sometimes, depending on who you're paying rent to, you might have VAT on it, but more often than not, you probably won't. So there won't be a lot that you can claim 20% back on because the majority of your costs are staff costs which don't incur VAT. So something really important to consider. Your second option that you have with VAT, a lot of people don't know this, is something called a flat rate of VAT. This differs depending on industries. For beauty salons, nail technicians, etc., I could be wrong on this. I could be a percentage out, but when we were on this rate with our salon years ago, it was a 12% rate. So instead of paying 20%, you pay only 12%. But there is a catch, which is that you can't claim the 20% back on everything you buy. The reason that they do this is they look at a service industry, realize that most of the costs you incur are staff related, so there isn't a lot of VAT that you can claim back, which is why they allow you to do this. So you can't claim back your 20% on every single thing you buy, but you can claim 20% back on, is it like capital expenditure up to 20%?
Yeah.
So 20% up to £2,000. So if you are buying new equipment, a big capital expenditure, does it have to be over £2,000?
Yeah.
It's over or up to? Over. No, it's over £2,000. Again, we could be wrong. We're not financial advisors. I'm sure it has to be over £2,000.
Big ticket items.
Big ticket items.
But that could be collective. So, for instance, if you wanted to get new
As long
beauty
as it's
beds,
from one place.
supply it at one time. So, for instance, if you want to get new beauty beds and each one is £500, what do you get for?
Yeah.
Only if you need one, just get one.
We could be slightly wrong on some of those things, but that's the general idea.
That's the way it was when we had the salon back 5 years ago.
Yeah, and that was the general idea of it. So you do have to take that into consideration. My recommendation would be that if you were registering as a service trade, I would go on the flat rate, 1,000%, because you ain't going to find that 8% difference in your
also
reclaims.
Just streamlines things. You don't have to go through every receipt and try and get it back. You just know the things that you can claim back.
Correct.
Just makes your life easier.
So there is that. Now, if you are VAT incurring business, you want to adopt one of the tax pot situations that we have talked about previously. So if you're on a flat rate of 12% VAT, you kind of want to be saving 12% automatically, because it's very rare that you're going to be claiming back, maybe once a year, a little bit. So you're going to have 12% coming off what comes back in. And what you can do with that is you don't need to raise your prices by 20%. Maybe you think, do you know what, I can afford to raise them by just 10%.
Yeah.
Because I'm only collecting 12%. That's what you've got to remember with VAT, guys. So when you look at our prices, say it's £20 plus VAT. That plus VAT, that £4, that money is not our money. We are shepherding that money for the government. We are an agent for the government, just taking that money from someone, keeping it aside and moving it back on. That's all that's happening.
And we're really smart, so we put it into the high interest savings account.
Yeah. So that's something else that you can do. You put it into a tax pot, and then because you are not paying that for 3 months, you have that money making money for 3 months.
Get that money, kids.
Yeah.
And with all that said, now, that sounds like a lot of budgeting. It sounds like a lot of getting things right in the right places.
You're trying to work out what those prices should be if you're having to
increase your prices. If you're putting your prices up by 10%,
taking tax into consideration.
You need to know what you're actually making, because, I mean, I know that I'm terrible at
Well, you need to know what
accountable.
you need to make just to be able to survive.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Well, one thing we need to take into consideration is product cost, product time, the holidays that you want, the credit card fees you make, how much your target is. It'd be great if we had some sort of pricing calculator.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I do, actually.
Do you have it in your pocket?
I do.
Do you have it in the brand new Nail Order app?
I do.
Guys, we are introducing to you today the brand new Nail Order app.
It is not launched now. This will be launching next weekend along with our birthday celebrations, all day live on TikTok, full of games and giveaways.
So you're going to be able to get your grubby hands on this next weekend. And one of the good things about it is it does come with some added benefits.
And how much are we charging for the calculator? Because I know there's a few other pricing calculators in the industry that different places do. They all do come with a charge. So what are we charging for the pricing calculator?
We should charge for it, but kind of like this podcast, it's completely bloody free.
Free?
Free, yes.
How?
Because it's Nail Order and we want to empower you guys to the most. Now, I believe for the majority of nail techs out there, you have no clue how much money you're really making. Not really.
Or what you need to be charging, because we didn't.
You're probably going to have the occasional nail tech that is proficient in Excel spreadsheets and can work all this out. But we are not. Most of you are not. So what we've done is we've honed all of our skills collectively between everybody pretty much now, between the warehouse, between the staff, everybody, to try and get this as polished as possible to give you guys the best information to make your business the most successful it can possibly be.
The only barrier to entry is that you need to download the app.
download the app, have an account with Nail Order, and you're golden.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, let's talk about the app real quick, and we'll go on to the budgeting calculator, the pricing calculator in a second. One of the things we want to do is just be able to get Nail Order into your pocket. And we figured that the best way to do that is an app. The majority of people nowadays, you don't read your emails.
You don't. And so many people say to us, oh, the email's not coming through, it's going to junk, it's this, that, the next thing. So to be able to have something where we can do push notifications, where you can get a notification, we aren't going crazy, guys. We are not going to annoy you. We're not going to bombard you every single day at all, maybe once a week.
We've restricted it to product launches or special offers.
Yeah.
So when you download the app,
or
make sure...
very big news.
Yeah, or something wild has happened. Download the app and ensure you enable push notifications, first of all.
Because otherwise you're not going to be notified anytime we do a special offer. And we only do 2 sales a year at Nail Order, but through the app, we are going to do some more special offers exclusive to the app.
Exclusive, only to the app. And people on the website, they'll never find it. So you'll be in like this new exclusive club, which is going to be great. It's going to give you also some other things that we're going to include. So it's going to give you access to things like our blogs and stuff like that. The podcast that you're watching right now, listening to right now, you can do it straight through the app, which is going to be excellent.
Shopping, of course.
Most importantly, you can shop some of your favourites. We're going to try and build it out over the next year as well. I mean,
there's definitely things to add.
For sure.
So, for instance, right now, the wish list doesn't talk to the wish list on the website.
It does not.
But that is something that we are currently working on. So it's something that we're going to have lots of added features. But we wanted, I think the most valuable feature that we can offer you as a business owner is that pricing calculator. Like that's the holy grail, to have that for free when everyone else is charging an absolute arm and a leg. And honestly, it is really comprehensive.
It's actually when it first started, it was relatively rudimental. No offense to anyone who contributed building it. But what has happened now is we have been using it for the last 3-4 months. More importantly, really intensely for the last 3-4 weeks. And we've added certain things into it to make it the best.
The other thing that we're releasing with it is a couple of blogs. One just generally talking about pricing things. And the other one is an in-depth instructions. So whilst it should be pretty self-explanatory with little question bubbles and stuff like that, if you need help along the way, I have written a blog which gives you really in-depth instructions on every single section where you might find yourself going, I'm not sure what I should put in here as well.
Some of the best things I love about it, I mean, we can talk about it more in depth, is the first page that you see is your target turnover per year. The funny thing is, the first time I used it, I was ultra conservative, I think, and I went in at 25 grand a year because I thought in my head that's a great target to be as a nail tech. And then I started to put in variables. So, for instance, I imagined what it would be for rent. What I imagined it would be for capital expenditure, so a lamp every couple of years and stuff like that.
That's the thing that our calculator takes into consideration that I don't think a lot of others does. It takes into consideration the fact that these items, they have a shelf life. They only last a certain amount of time. And I think it asks you how long each item lasts for, something like that. So that it's taking into consideration saving money for the next one that you need to buy.
Yeah.
It's taken into consideration the cost of that item being used and it essentially dying.
Yeah, which is great. And then it kind of works out roughly, the rudimental version when I first started was how much you should be charging for your service per hour for your services. Now that's all very well and good, but imagine you're constantly doing these wild acrylic extensions or polygel or something huge that it sculpt and it takes a lot of time and you're charging £100 for it. But then also you might just be doing gel polishes and they're quick and they're easy and everything else. It doesn't really balance it. We have honed this calculator to take into consideration each individual treatment, and you can go as wild as you want by putting in not just nails,
other beauty treatments.
But other beauty treatments as well.
Any service treatment, any hair treatment. It'll work for any treatment that has time involved and products involved.
Yes.
Anything at all.
It is excellent. We did this for you guys because what we want to do, like I said, is empower you guys so that you understand how much money you're making, how much you need to charge. We always talk about charge your worth. But like I was saying, as I was going through this calculator, I realised that I was making way more than that 25 grand based on what I thought I would be as a single nail tech, taking in, say, 30 clients a week, working 4 days.
What I like is you can mix and match the treatments as well. So you can go, right, I know that I do 15 builder gels, I do 5 gel polishes, I'll do 5 sets of extensions, And then 5 of them are absolutely insane nail art things. And you can build your own treatment. You can build a treatment, and every single item that's used in that treatment, you can add to that treatment. So say you're going to add all of your disposables, right? All the things that you use during a treatment and how many times you'll get a use out of it, etc. So nail file, you're getting 1 use out of it. Your tools, who knows? But you're going to put that in your equipment anyway, etc., right? And then you're going to add all of those things to a treatment. So for instance, when you're doing a gel polish, you're only adding the gel polish, the gel color, your top coat, the tools and disposables that we'd use for any treatment. That's all you're adding. But when you're doing a builder gel, you're adding all those things, but you're also adding in the builder gel. And if you're doing hard gel, maybe you're adding all of those things, but you're swapping out the builder for the hard gel, and you're adding in tips or forms. And say with nail art, you're adding in maybe some brushes that you're using and some art gels and more time.
One of the things I was talking to the guys about the other day there, and somebody came up with a great way to do it, is to section it out. Because again, you can manipulate this to work for you. So what they were doing was prep was a certain treatment. And they know their prep, doesn't matter what they're doing, always takes them 20 minutes. So they were putting in prep at 20 minutes, the time and everything that was used for it in terms of the equipment, and how much they would charge for it. But they weren't putting in a charge because technically the prep's included in it. Mm-hmm. But they knew it was taking them 20 minutes. Then they were doing the builder gel, which was 30 minutes. And then they were doing their colour, which was 10 minutes. So they knew that whole builder gel thing was taking them 1 hour. And they could see individually how much things are costing them and break it down. And then they were thinking, if I get my prep down by 5 minutes by maybe using an e-file, all of a sudden that hour 15 minutes can start to be reduced. Mm-hmm. So it shows you ways that you can actually make more money. Mm-hmm. One thing that, again, we were discussing is, if you sit and break it down, how much you spend on a builder gel bottle versus a pot, instantly, when you can see the usage, all of a sudden, like, this world opens up.
And this is the thing, whilst we have given you all the tools to do everything, you do need to do a little bit of work, which is work out how many treatments you personally get out of a bottle or a pot or whatever. And what I don't want you doing is going and asking your brands, whether it is us or somebody else, how many should I get out of this? Because they cannot give you an answer that means anything, because they do not know your circumstances. They don't know your application. You're maybe applying it a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner. Your clients maybe have long nails or wide nails or whatever. So you have to put in the work for that. I would say to start with, you're going to be excited listening to this. You're going to want to download your app. You're going to want to get on that pricing calculator straight away. Use a little bit of, right, I think it's this. But then what I want you to do is I want you to implement the advice that we've given in the blogs on how to work out how many sets that you are getting. So putting a mark on the bottle every time you use it, or putting a sticker on a pot and marking on that every time you use it. And I want you to implement that. Now, it's a tedious task, granted, but you only need to do it once. Once it's done, it's done. You know exactly how many sets of gel you get out of a 15-gram bottle and how many sets, say, you get out of a 25-gram pot. You've done the work. You know.
Somebody in the warehouse made a great point of how to do that with the marker things. They bought gold and silver marker pens, and on the Sharpies, and on the bottle that it has, on our bottles that have the blank side, they're just putting a dot.
Yep.
So, for instance, they know how many builder gels they're getting out of a pot. Now, granted, your mileage may vary because you might all of a sudden have an influx of customers getting longer nails or something, whatever. But you can usually work out an average. It all
should even it out, but it's going to tell you. And going back to what you were saying about the pot versus the bottle, people keep asking for hard gel in a bottle, which I just don't understand why you would want it. And then I was thinking,
because I used to brush on.
I was stood at the kitchen window this morning. I was like, why do they want it? Because they've never used a pot. Yeah. If that is you, please just buy a pot of gel, try it, and you'll never go back, because our customers won't go back.
Oh, 100%.
They don't go back. They don't want it in bottles.
I had customers come in the other day for Rapture, and we didn't have it in a pot, and she was like, there's no point buying a bottle. And I was like, but it'll do just now. And you think
builder gel is sticky, but hard gel is a lot stickier. So you are wasting probably a third of a bottle that's just stuck in the bottom and you can't get to it. Just use a pot. It's how the gels were originally designed to be used. Yeah. It is so much more cost effective. And in a way, I think for your application, probably better because you're using a proper gel brush, which is really grabbing the natural nail rather than a brush that is just laden with product.
But we're not here to harp on about that.
No.
One thing I do want you guys to understand is we are releasing this at the perfect time, and you're probably thinking, why, Chris? Because right now, we're in the midst of summer. You have...
Are we? Is all I can hear sitting here?
Rain battering the outside.
Absolute torrential rain hitting the warehouse.
Okay. We're in the midst of summertime. July here in Scotland, as much as it is raining, which means you have 3-4 months until Black Friday. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, what's that got? We're talking about budget and everything here today. Over the next few months, you're probably going to use maybe 1 or 2 top coats. So by the time Black Friday comes, you know how many sets you're getting for top coat, and you can program
100%.
into this free pricing calculator.
So
You
it's,
can do the
it's
same-
twofold. Not only are you working out how many sets you're getting out of a bottle for your prices, right? You can now forward plan. Black Friday comes along, you're saving 20%, and you know that a bottle of top coat lasts you, I don't know, I'm just going to pick a number out of
6 weeks.
60 clients.
Oh, good one, yeah, 60. Yeah.
I don't know, could be anything,
Yeah.
right? Just as an example, 60 clients. And you know in the next 6 months, you're going to see 320 clients.
Because now you've started inputting things into your budget calculator, you've started to do that with your QuickBooks or something like that.
Yeah.
So you know how many clients you're seeing.
Exactly. Not 320, 240 clients,
Yeah.
right? So you know that you need 4 bottles to do that. And you're like, well, if Black Friday sale, why don't I buy those 4 bottles and I'm getting them for 20% off? And honestly, what I would say is do not put into the pricing calculator, don't account for sales.
Don't.
Account for full price,
Yep.
because that's worst case scenario. And then hopefully you're actually in a better circumstance at the end of it.
Also, if you can work that out, you know that you're better off buying a 100ml refill bottle
Obviously.
and then popping it in. So not only are you saving money on the refill bottle, but then you're saving the 20% for Black Friday.
Yeah.
This is all done to do certain things, guys. Is to give you guys the actual power in your hands to work out how much money you're actually earning per client, so that you can look at your circumstances and think to yourself, right, actually, I can take that 1 extra day off a month, or you know what, I can actually make another 10 grand if I do this, this, and this.
Or I can do another training course. I could introduce a new treatment.
Yeah.
So many things, but you need to be the one that takes the reins. As a business owner, it's your responsibility to take the reins for your business and make it the best it can be and make it as profitable as it can be. But you do need to think outside the box and about all of these things that you can be doing. And honestly, once you get into the swing of it, it's just natural. It was so natural for us.
Yeah.
You know, anytime there was a sale, boom, jumped on it and just maximized, spent everything that I could to really get as many products as possible.
Absolutely.
So-
And that's the thing, if you really think about it, for instance, if you buy on Black Friday, which is the last weekend in November, and you have, technically, if you go for one of our credit cards that we're recommending, you usually have a month or so to pay them back.
Okay, Christmas.
You're going through the whole of December where you're busy AF. You're getting that money back. Now, you've probably not earned, you'll earn all the money you've spent, but you're still going to have tons of product in your salon you're going to use over
Yep.
the next 3 months.
Yep.
And it's going to be free.
And it's your busiest time,
Oh,
and you've got the
wow.
product even cheaper.
It's unreal. So we're doing this at the perfect time for you guys, because we do love giving back to the community as much as possible. Nobody else is doing this right now. And we just,
You never know. Somebody else could jump in and be like, we've got pricing calculator. Like, wow, great minds think alike.
of course. But for instance, we just think this is going to be great for you guys. Some things that we have introduced over the last year is Stockroom, to be able to give you guys a visual representation of everything you bought from Nail
Not
Order.
currently available on the app.
It's not, but that is going to integrate as well
Eventually.
as Wishlist.
But-
What you're going to see over the next year is big changes to the website as well.
For sure. But all of these things take time. And for us, making the pricing calculator was a priority. And I think you guys would agree that you'd rather have a pricing calculator than a stockroom that works on the app and the thing, or a wish list that works on both.
Yeah.
The pricing calculator can really change your business.
Absolutely.
Like really, regardless of whether you're a nail order customer or not.
Yeah.
It can really change your business.
And that's another thing. If you're listening to this and thinking, Nail Order is shite, and I don't want to use them. First of all, you're wrong. But we don't care. Come, sign up for an account at Nail Order. Get the
Use
pricing
us for our app.
get the pricing calculator absolutely free. There you go.
Yeah. Can't say fairer than that.
And then when you see the Black Friday sales, you'll be like, oh, I wish I loved Nail Order. And then you probably will love Nail Order. But also, one thing I would say is we're going to maybe try and create something on the tips and advice group, like a little section or something.
I don't know how to do it, honestly.
Like a private chat for something. But like Rebecca was saying, we implore you guys to do your own math when it comes to this. Well, this is all going to do the math. All you have to work out is how much this costs you, because you can see that in your receipts. Go to your account section in the app and it'll show you your last bills. So for instance, it's going to show you that a gel polish is £14.50.
$13.50.
It's going to show you that a gel polish is £13.50. And if you know that you're getting 50 treatments out of that,
Mhm.
all you do is just divide it. And if you're struggling, again, we've said this before, ChatGPT, just say, this is what I'm using and this is how many.
Mhm.
It'll spit out the number and you just put the number in the calculator. You get to the end, it spits out how much you're potentially earning for a year.
Yep.
And I think you guys will be surprised at how much you can potentially earn.
Yeah, for sure.
And do that thing, bump it up. Think to yourself, if I take an extra 5 clients, how much am I going to earn? You know? Or if I raise my prices by 10%.
Well, that's a great thing with the app. You can slide around and you can see exactly what targets you're working towards. You're like, right, okay, maybe you're a new to nail tech. You're starting, low to get those people in, which is what I would highly recommend. But then you're thinking, what could I earn in the future?
Yeah.
Let me think what I would like my prices to be in the future and where that's going to set me up.
That's a great thing because you can do the reset button on all the calculations, but a lot of things, like for instance, if you've worked out how much a gel polish is taken in terms of time and cost, that remains the same.
I could see myself going backwards and forwards like loads of times. I, like going back to the first page, putting in how much I want to earn, and then going back to the end.
We were talking about 85 grand earlier. If you put in that number,
it'll tell you what you
how
need to
many
do.
clients and how many. And what that does mean is, for instance, right now you're taking 30 clients a week. 30 clients a week. And you think to yourself, imagine I had another member of staff who's taking another 30 clients. You can put that into it and work out what you're getting for 60 clients per week, and then work out what that staff's wage is. It's not part of the pricing calculator just now, but you can work that out. You know how much you have to pay them per hour. And you can work out if maybe this solo venture you're doing just now could be a salon. There's so many variables.
That's the thing, you can put in other costs into it. There's a section for other costs. That could be other costs, could be
staff.
It could be staff, it could be a receptionist, it could be someone helping with social media, it could be another nail technician. You can absolutely put that in.
Yeah. One thing we want to say is, if you are watching this video and we're at 1,000 likes, come over and see us on that TikTok because you might get a big bad boy kit. A bad big boy kit. Right now, we would love to know your thoughts and comments on this. So please leave
on the idea of it, how you guys feel.
The idea of it, or if you're watching after the fact that you've got this in your hand and you like it, you don't like it, or you want to add some stuff into it, there is a section where you can go straight to BJ and ask him or tell him your suggestions.
That is a terrible, terrible idea to begin with.
It is, because he'll never reply to you. Doesn't reply to us. But leave your comments. Let us know what you think of it. If you want to see something introduced to it. Like we said,
if you do leave comments for something to be introduced, can I make one point, which is make sure it's not something really niche to you. It's something that has to work for the masses. So it's like if you have something or do something very...
If you pay £25 a week for parking.
No, well, you can include that. But if it's just something really, really niche, we're not going to be able to implement that to the app for one person. Make sure anything that you think you want to implement is something that would benefit everybody. Yeah,
for sure. So we hope you guys love it as much as we've put the effort into it. I think it's just going to be great for all. Is there anything else you want to cover on the app that we've not?
No, I think that's pretty good.
We are going to be introducing tons of new stuff over the next year, so you just need to give us time. And just remember, as it stands, we were first and everyone's going to copy us. It's going to take you 9 months. And by that time, we'll have new things out on the website. Oh, God,
I don't even know. Maybe other nail brands do have apps. I don't know. I've not seen any.
Yes, actually. They did.
Who?
Glossify.
They've got an app?
Yeah.
Do they?
Oh. I didn't go into it. I just seen it and they had it. Oh. Anyway.
But the pricing calculator?
Probably not. Absolutely
I don't know. Not for free. Are you joking?
Yeah, absolutely not. Again, that's another thing. It's like not to bash anyone who charges for them, because it takes so much time to be able to plug all those numbers in. We're just lucky that we pay the staff. And hopefully, if this empowers you, then you'll come back to us. That's the way we look at it.
Hopefully.
Okay, Annie. So what are we doing for the rest of the day?
I've got a couple more episodes to record. You're probably going to wax your own nose. And
yeah, because if you guys notice on the pod, I was my nose is bugging me.
And
I was thinking about going for
so much to do, huh?
Haircut because we're going to Niche next week.
Yeah, there is so much we have to do for Niche. It's actually terrifying.
The training academy. We need to go attach legs to the.
God,
it never ends, guys. I mean,
honestly,
we work 5 days in the warehouse in nail order. We record all this on a Saturday. Then we need to edit. Well, I need to edit stuff. We also need to do other stuff. We just never stop.
Emails, whatever. We've got stuff to do in our own home.
If we still have that house by the time this comes out.
I can't imagine.
Could you imagine we'd moved out?
Oh, we wouldn't have moved out by now.
Into a caravan?
In 3 weeks.
Okay, Annie. Well, I enjoyed this pod with you.
Good.
You're very pretty today.
What do you want?
Nothing at all. You're just very pretty today. You get cake coming today, haven't
Oh
you?
my God, yes. I'm looking at my watch right now.
I can hear a van right outside. So Do you want to get us the heck out of here?
As always, guys, if you enjoyed that, please give us a thumbs up. Please let us know in the comments below what you think about the idea of this app. We're so excited for you to have it. And please ensure you are subscribed. And also share it on your stories.
Sunday, all the tea getting spilled. Nail text, talking game, keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From designs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.